Hey everyone, welcome back to Coffee Thoughts. My name is Troy Kinsey, and today's topic is going to be table reads and simulations. How can we use these two unique approaches to help us with our process redesign work? So, one of the biggest challenges with actually a couple of the biggest challenges with putting together a new process is A, making sure that it's going to work when it goes live, and two, that those folks that are using it are comfortable doing so. So that's where table reads can come in. So table reads, that's a term that comes from the film and theater industry. Table read essentially is imagine a number of actors and actresses sitting around the table with writers, the director or directors, possibly, and they start at the very beginning of the script and they read all the way to the end. And as they're doing so, the writers are taking notes, what works, what doesn't in terms of the lines, in terms of the flow, and then the director is listening and observing and getting a better indication of whether or not, what kind of camera angles they want to use, how it's going to look from a holistic standpoint. So how does this apply to our work? So for process redesign, we can, for example, create a use case or use cases, and that's a topic we'll talk about another video, but we can actually use those and have the folks that are going to be using that process sit down and run through the lines, essentially, run through the process. So what does this do for us? First of all, it lets us iron out things that might not be comfortable, might not quite work, as you know, we have different folks reading through the script, as it were, and it also gives the people that are designing process kind of a holistic view of, really where do we need to change this to make this more effective. Importantly, it gives those folks that are reading, so let's say we're talking about a incident management script for the service desk, it gives the analysts who are reading through that script a better understanding of, how does this work? Lets them ask questions and make sure that they're comfortable in using it. So that's a table read. So a simulation is a little bit different. Simulation is when we put the scripts down and we have folks essentially take on a role. It's best if we switch these roles out. So when I say role, again, using the service desk example, you might have somebody who's actually taken the role of an analyst, someone who's taken the role of a leader who's asking questions of a customer, maybe an upset customer or a confused customer, and essentially running through the script. But they're running through it with different situations in mind. So if I'm acting as if I were a customer, I'm going to make up my own questions. I might not be happy or might be upset, and so I'm going to essentially simulate that so that the analyst can get a better understanding of, okay, so how am I going to contend with this situation? How am I going to make sure that, I de-escalate and make sure that the customer at the end of the day is comfortable and happy with what they get? So my recommendation is that we take turns playing different roles so that folks get comfortable with each of the different roles and the different perspectives, really. Again, I recommend using use cases. We will talk about that in another video, but I found that simulations, especially, are a great way to make it fun, essentially, to learn a new process, because there's a little bit of acting involved, and it lets you work through different situations that are unexpected at times. So oftentimes people will come up with different situations that the people designing the process might not ever have thought about. So those are the two topics for today, or the topic for today. If you have any questions, please note those in the comments below. Other than that, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.